The art of screen printing.
Hey everybody, it's Lon Winters. I'm here outside my office in Colorado as my floors are being refinished. It's Corey Gray, our art director. He's in California, and this is the art of screen printing presented by GSG. How are you, Corey?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Hey, today we're going to run through our layout in Illustrator for our GSG superhero logo. Can you take us right to it, Corey?
Absolutely. Well, basically, we're going to go into Illustrator today and talk about the construction of the design, because you can see these are actually identical. However, this has all the beautiful rendering on it, and of course, this is very basic and flat. We've talked about this before. Constructing design, or at least your basic elements in design, I like to do it in Illustrator because it's easily editable, and also I'm going to take all of this information here and we're going to move it into Photoshop. And as I zoom up here, you can see how everything is very, very clean. I'm not saying you can't do this in Photoshop, but I find that because it matters to us as far as print, having nice clean edges to our screens and our art, I find that this is a much better place to start with our elements. And again, very easy to edit and vector versus raster. So as I kind of click around here, you can see that you're seeing the honeycombs shapes here, but each one of these is an individual object. However, to do it, I only made the one. And then of course I continued to duplicate this as a process as I went through creating the, take from 2 to 4 and you just kind of keep on going and you make basically a net. And that's exactly what I did with here for the background. Now you can see that it's pretty much a simple element in the actual finished design, but it was effective too. It helped fill in some negative space that we kind of felt it was kind of lacking. Again, you can see the parameters. If I zoom up here in Photoshop, he said, sorry, I'm having a little bit of a delay on my drawing there. Okay, there we go. Now you can see that much like a coloring book, we have a black line area and then we color within those lines. You can see that these borders, what I like to call corralling the color, where each color is kind of separate from itself, but it also allows me in Photoshop to make selections of just these areas. And then of course, this is all brought over from Illustrator to Photoshop exactly the size. And I definitely want to say that it's important that when you're doing your design it at the size you're going to print it. So that way you're not basically bringing this down in size, either scaling up or scaling down. That can be problematic with your edges once you get into Photoshop. But like most anything, you start with a structure or a foundation. This is how we do it in Illustrator. And you can see here that literally it is just 3 rings, all in thick strokes. So basically my whitest stroke, the yellow in the middle, and then basically a smaller purple stroke to give us these borders around the color. And then we'll use those once we get into Photoshop to start doing the final rendering and all the nice effects. So it's basic, but it's very effective.
Outstanding. Well, that gives us the explanation, Corey. Appreciate that. Next go around, we'll take you through how we put those elements together in Illustrator. In the meantime, I'm Lon, he's Corey, we are Graphic Elephants, and this has been the art of screen printing presented by GSG. We'll see y'all next time.